7 months ago, we witnessed a flurry of campaigns launched against the fast food chain Chick-Fil-A after the media discovered the company's ties to anti-gay marriage organizations. This, coupled with statements made by the president and COO, Dan Cathy, fueled the flames that led to national protests. Let's take a listen to what Cathy said on the Ken Coleman radio show in June of last year.
I think we're inviting God's judgment on our nation when we shake our fist at him and say, we know better than you as to what constitutes a marriage. And I pray God's mercy on our generation that has such a prideful, arrogant attitude to think that we would, the audacity to try to redefine what marriage is all about.
From kiss-ins to boycotts, LGBT advocates rallied against the restaurant group. But in a just published piece for HuffPost Gay Voices, Campus Pride Executive Director Shane Winmeyer says Chick-fil-A has changed its tune. He joins HuffPost live for the first time to discuss the friendship he built with Dan Cathy and how it led him to end his campaign against the company.
Dan and I would never say that our goal is to change one another, but we've been able to find some common ground around young people. He's been able to share with me now the 990s that show that a year ago, even before the controversy, Chick-fil-A as a company had made the decision to live by who they are, which was to not engage in social or political debates as a company, and to honor everyone with dignity and respect. The conversations and what Dan and I have been through over the last 6-7 months, from a standpoint of our conversations, our dialogue, it's never been to that level, I don't think. And he heard very clearly, Dan and I would talk about faith. We would talk about family. Never once did I hide the fact that I have been together with my husband for 18 years. He's my first love. He is my partner. And Dan respected that. He even asks about my husband when we've met. So I think that's interesting. And that's where, at the end of the day, a relationship with someone is what matters, and where we can, as Dan would say, I say in the piece, the blessing of growth, where we can actually get to know each other better. You walk into any relationship with someone with fear, especially someone like Dan Cathy, who didn't need to sit down with me. He didn't need to ask about my family or, my dad who passed away in 2003 from a drunk driving accident. I mean, Dan was very clear that he considers himself to be a Christ-like follower, which in my mind was rhetoric and kind of this ministry from the kind of an evangelical base. And I really didn't understand that until Dan described it. And then I actually saw Dan trying to live in the way that he saw Christ would. And I challenged that with Dan, and I talked to him about that. He sees a clear difference between that and being Christian. And so those are the things that are awkward at times. And, I called Dan a friend. If my husband and I have the legal right to marry in the state of North Carolina in 6 months or a year, I'll invite all my friends, and that would include Dan if he would take the invitation.